What if I told you a bunny girl broke romance anime? There's an anime that decided to ignore all the rules of what traditional romance were supposed to look like, and in the process became one of the best I've ever seen. Today we're going to talk about Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, what rules it broke, and why it's in the conversation for the best romance in anime. Tell me if you've heard this one before. A boy and girl have a chance encounter, they end up getting to know each other better, they build up the chase while slowly revealing more of their feelings, a misunderstanding happens, and then they make up at the end and finally get together. Sound familiar? It should. That describes a ridiculous amount of anime. This plot is the first thing Rascal Does Not Dream did away with. While it does open with a chance encounter where our leads Sakuta and Mai end up getting to know each other better, we're introduced to tragedy almost instantly. The reason they meet is because Mai is wearing a bunny costume in the library and he's the only one who can see her. Despite what you might expect, it's not a fan service moment and not a fan service heavy show. It turns out she's being forgotten by everyone she knows, classmates, friends, her mother. Everyone forgets her except Sakuta, and if he falls asleep, he'll forget her too. I can't think of an anime that goes this hard 3 episodes in. It's legitimately heartbreaking and you're invested so quickly. How they get through it is beautiful and instantly makes you love their relationship for having to endure so much so soon. After going through something so real, we actually skip the chase altogether. Another rule we break, but it makes sense because after nearly losing each other, why would you want to play games and delay the time you have with this person? Instead, we see them go into full banter mode, and I have to admit, it's probably my favorite in any romance. They are so fun to watch interact because they are on exactly the same wavelength, and their back and forths are dead even. But then through a myriad of coincidences, Sakuta ends up having to fake date another girl, Koga, one who eventually falls for him, and in another sci-fi twist, he must keep reliving his dating experience with her over and over again. Competitors or love triangles are so common in romance, and far more often than not, only exist to keep the main characters apart a little longer. So here comes the misunderstanding that threatens Sakuta's relationship with Mai, right? Actually, no. Mai completely understands the circumstances of the situation and is not only supportive of Sakuta, but trusts him the entire time. Which again makes sense, because Mai had gone through her own sci-fi issues earlier, so of course she can relate. Then the next arc is also about Sakuta saving another girl, Futaba. There aren't romantic implications between the two, and there are more sci-fi elements at play, with her mind being so conflicted that she's split into 2 people, literally. Mai isn't jealous of this either, despite the great lengths Sakuta goes to help Futaba out. I love how all of this is balanced. Each arc is literally a different scientific phenomenon impacting a girl, one that directly comes as the result of their insecurities, and meanwhile we have this budding romance happening between 2 people who genuinely support, accept, and love each other. These scientific issues are all extremely relevant to the issues that plague many teens, so it's relatable too. It's important for Sakuta to be there for them because no one was there for him when he received his scars, so it all comes full circle. How about we throw another twist in there? Mai and her sister literally swap bodies. Sakuta ends up spending a ton of time with Mai's sister in Mai's body. The potential for disaster via miscommunication, cheating, jealousy, all of it has shot through the roof, yet none of it happens. We actually get depth to the sisters' relationship and focus on them overcoming their issues with each other. Putting Mai's relationship in turmoil wasn't needed, and I ended up legitimately shocked that they set that arc up without conflict. It makes their relationship feel so much stronger that despite all these things that could have been setbacks, and absolutely would have in other series, these 2 always trust each other. There's an arc about Sakuta's sister Kaide, and from the start, they've kind of alluded to sister complex vibes. She's obsessed with him, and you're waiting for it to go off the rails. Not only does that not happen, but they completely turn the idea on its head. She's so attached to her brother not only because of an accident at school that left her afraid to leave the house, but because she literally lost all of her memories. She doesn't remember anything before the accident, and since then, he's all she's had. Of course she's going to grow attached to the only person she interacts with and who has put all of her needs before his own. It's not a silly sister trope, it's a tragedy. Even when he works with her to move past her trauma and she's able to leave the house and eventually return to school, the Kaede we know vanishes and the one before the accident returns. So the one that grew so close with her brother, she's gone. That's not something Sakata takes lightly. This is a person he's devoted years of his life towards taking care of, and in an instant, she forgets every second of it. It's heartbreaking. We get one last chance for relationship drama when Shoko Makinohara takes care of Sakata in Mai's absence. Makinohara was his first crush. When Mai hears what he's going through, she rushes to see him, only to learn Shoko was the one who was there for him. This stings and Mai leaves. Okay, here we go. Finally the breakup tease. Not really. It's not that she didn't trust him or saw Makinohara as competition. She was broken up about the fact that someone else was there for him instead of her. When Sakata rushes back to see Mai on her birthday, all is forgiven, and we not only have a touching moment, but more of their classic banter. It's so refreshing to have a series like this that simply doesn't devolve into bullshit. For as many romance are out there, I don't think a connection has felt stronger in a practical, real way than the one portrayed in Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Plus, all the sci-fi stuff that happens is actually insane. I was explaining this to a friend and he asked me, wait, this all happens in one show? And I go, it all happens in one season. These 13 episodes are flush with rich storytelling, unique concepts, and of course, a great romance at its core. While I've only personally watched the first season, the Rascal Does Not Dream series has series and movies that have been coming out in the last 7 years and continues here into 2025, which isn't normal for a rom-com. Researching this video, I found out about Monogatari, which Rascal apparently shares some similarities with, so that does deserve a mention here too. If you want to go back further, Haruhi obviously had a strong influence on science fiction anime with a romantic element. Still, of recent anime, Rascal Does Not Dream is objectively more popular than something like Monogatari, so to me it has greater claim to breaking romance anime. Because since its creation, you see a lot more anime go out of their way to subvert or not follow the regular path. With that, I'm out.